Greetings, good people. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, May 9th, 2024, and it is Hot Topics time. All right. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. All right. So please be sure to pay your admission fee, and that is hitting the like button as you enter. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. 50 Cent is back in the news. A lot of people like his petty, but I don't find his petty funny at all. We're going to talk about this lawsuit, okay, that he has filed against the mother of his child. Yikes. Shawnee O'Neal, did you guys hear what Shawnee O'Neal said while she was on her little book promotion tour about Shaq? Well, Shaq has responded, okay? And we got some other hot topics that I want to touch on as well. There's controversy going on as it pertains to this teacher who had some of these students taking out his braids. I'm going to touch on that also, okay? As I said before, pay your admission fee, hit that like button. Let's get into this. I thought that this was interesting before we get into them other hot topics, right? Martin Lawrence, one of my favorite comedic actors, okay? The Martin Show is one of my favorites. I quote Martin all day, every day, at least once or twice a day, okay? So Martin is going back on tour and he's bringing some of the newer comedians with him. And I love everything about this, okay? You guys know Bad Boys 4, the new Bad Boys movie is scheduled to come out next month in June. So I'm excited for that. So Martin is keeping himself busy. Okay. So I can't play the trailer. Okay. So you guys, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out the trailer for his 36 Cities All-Star Tour. This is dope. Okay. So he's going on the road with Adele Givens, B. Simone, a new, one of the newer comedians. Chico B, DC Young Fly. I'm here for that. Dion Cole, he's an OG. Desi Banks, Gary Owen. Jess Hilarious. Shout out to Jess Hilarious. Miss Pat, Ricky Smiley. You got Benji Brown, who is hilarious. Clayton Thomas, Daphne Springs, Lonnie Love, and Mojo Brooks. So these are the dates. TMZ is reporting this. TMZ Hip Hop, to be exact, is reporting this. And I think this is dope. Martin is an OG. Martin really shifted the culture as it pertains to comedy because he really merged hip hop and comedy. And, Martin has so many quotables. A lot of people respect Martin in the comedy game, and no one has been able to duplicate what Martin has done, right? For the culture of hip hop and for the culture of comedy. So to see him working with some of the young artists who look up to him, like Jess Hilarious. I know Jess Hilarious loves Martin. Chico Bean, DC Young Fly, and others. I think that this is fire. I think this is dope. Now, listen, in my opinion, nothing tops You So Crazy, his stand-up comedy special. To me, that was peak top tier Martin, okay? So Martin, he tells TMZ, comedy gives me that instant gratification, seeing the fans up close and in person, making people laugh, doing what I love most. This is what it's all about for me. And like I said, Martin being an OG in the game and the fact that he's reaching back and constantly bringing up newer comedians. I am totally here for this. I remember Martin had a comedy show. It was on Showtime. Um First Amendment comedy or something like that. It used to come on back in the day on Showtime. And at one point, Ricky Smiley was hosting it, and there was another comedian, I can't remember his name, was hosting it. And it was like a comedy show. Martin would sit up in the balcony, like a Showtime at the Apollo type deal, but nobody booed anyone. And he would have some of these comedians, some familiar faces, and some new comedians come up and do their thing. I think it's First Amendment stand up, something like that, comedy tour. So to see him still doing his thing all these years later, I respect it 1,001%. So shout out to Martin and good luck to the comedians that are going to be going on tour for him. That's huge. That's a huge notch under their belt. All right. Moving along, 50 Cent, Curtis. I'm tired of Curtis. I've been tired of Curtis. I was tired of Curtis when he started suing Tierra Marie. Whether you guys think he's right or not, I'm sick of Curtis. I don't find his petty funny at all. I think he's a pest and he's totally annoying. But he has the right to defend himself, okay? So according to the Jasmine brand, 50 Cent files a $1 million defamation lawsuit against Daphne Joy, okay? She accused him of some things, And I don't think that that was smart if she didn't have proof. And the reasoning behind why she accused him of these things is absolutely positively absurd and stupid. But her lawyer is going to get paid either way. You know, plenty of lawyers have stupid clients as long as their money is good. All right. So let me go ahead and read this article so you don't have to. All right. In a $1 million lawsuit obtained by TMZ, 50 Cent denied the claims that Daphne Joy made in an Instagram post in late March, alleging that she only accused him of those things because he wanted full custody of their 11-year-old son. So are you kind of in a roundabout way, Miss Daphne Joy, admitting that you're lying? Yikes. This is easy money for her lawyer. 50 Cent pointed out that he went for full custody after Daphne Joy alleged, to be a sex worker in Little Rod's bombshell lawsuit against Diddy, which Daphne Joy has denied, right? And he accused her of posting the claims to get back at him, particularly when she wrote, and this is what she wrote in her IG post. Curtis James Jackson, everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Syer, I think that's his name, their son, was the one in handcuffs for nothing? We moved to New York to give you the opportunity to be a father to your son, and you saw him 10 times out of the 2 years that we lived 1 mile away from you. I'm tired of upholding and protecting an image to our son that you have never even earned. Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of R-ing me and physically putting hands on me. I gotta watch what I say, y'all. Gotta watch what I say. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time. Here's the thing. Y'all not smart enough yet. Like, how long does it take for y'all to realize that certain things just should not be on the internet? There is a young child involved in the middle of this. No matter how much you despise Curtis, like, your lawyer, do you listen to your lawyer? You know what? Sometimes lawyers do give bad advice, but sometimes these attorneys give good advice. But it's just the clients that don't listen. And listen, if I'm an attorney and I tell you not to say and do something, and you say and do the opposite of what I told you not to say and do, at some point I'm gonna throw my hands up because I most likely have other clients as long as you make sure you pay me. So I don't know. 50 Cent noted that Daphne Joy's message has over 22,000 likes, and it made him a target for online hate and tarnish his reputation and fight for full custody of their son. So basically that's why 50 Cent is saying this is why he's fighting for full custody. Now, is he being petty? Yes, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is, especially if what she is alleging is true as it pertains to you living 1 mile away from your child and not seeing him at all. Um, I just don't think it's a good idea for Curtis to take their son away from his mother, because obviously he lives with her. She's the one taking care of him. And he's just doing this to, I guess, quote unquote, teach her a lesson. Now, when this Little Rod lawsuit came out accusing Diddy of all types of felonious things, right? Or atrocious things, Daphne Joy was accused of being a sex worker. And when this hit the news, 50 Cent took it upon himself to get onto social media and say something along the lines of, damn, baby girl, I didn't know you was a sex worker. He posed with a picture outside of his home, I guess, and he had an umbrella. It was just weird. He was being petty. And you guys, if you've been keeping up with what 50 Cent has been doing as it pertains to Diddy, he's been trolling the heck out of Diddy. And he finds joy in this for some odd reason. I don't know. I think that there's some sort of unresolved issue that he has with Diddy, 50 Cent that is, because he always takes every opportunity to get on Diddy whenever Diddy is in the news, okay? And he goes around and tells everybody in interviews in the past how Diddy's sexuality is questionable, whatever. So, I mean, when this hit the fan, Curtis, you could have just left Daphne alone. You weren't trying to seek custody of your child then. But I don't know, whatever. I don't like 50 Cent's petty, I don't. And it's a lot of people are entertained by it, but there's a child involved in this. You know what I mean? It's like you got so much time on your hands, Curtis. Enough is enough. Anyway, so yeah, this is just pretty much going into talking about how the drama pretty much unfolded. I just summed it up, starting with that lawsuit. Daphne Joy says that she was not a sex worker, and she denies those allegations that was in that alleged filing of. Speaking of which, so ain't nobody come up with no evidence yet on Diddy. I ain't saying he innocent. I'm not saying that he's guilty, but listen, I steered away from that topic when all of that stuff was hitting the fan. It was a whole lot going on, and I steered clear of that topic. But I will say this, in my strong opinion, this is just an opinion that I'm sharing. I don't think Diddy is going to be going to jail. I don't see it, and I think in a couple of months we'll forget about this. I guess to some degree, right? I just don't think that he's going to jail. But anyway, this is what 50 Cent wrote in his suit, right? The disturbing allegations in the sworn pleadings recently filed in a court case related to Daphne Joy, the mother of my 12-year-old child, has required me to take all necessary legal actions to protect my son Sayer. The most recent false and baseless accusations by Daphne Joy are clearly in response to my decision to seek sole custody of my son. My son Sayer is my main priority, and keeping him in a safe environment is my only focus at the time. Right. So, yeah, when these allegations hit, I think not Diddy, 50 Cent decided to seek custody. And then she got on social media, blasted him, and he basically came harder with his legal team. And like I said, I just don't think it's a good idea for Curtis to want to take his son away from his mother. I mean, and do what? I don't know. But y'all like 50 Cent's petty though. I don't. I don't find it entertaining or funny whatsoever. So we just gonna continue to keep them lifted in prayer. All right, moving along. Now, see this story right here. Shaquille O'Neal, reacts to ex-wife Shawnee Henderson saying that she's unsure she ever loved him. Let's just get into this article, okay? Shaquille O'Neal has responded to his ex-wife's declaration that she is unsure if she ever loved him. In an Instagram post Wednesday morning, the NBA superstar addressed revelations from Shawnee Henderson's new book, Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms, including the confession that looking back on her marriage, she does not believe she ever truly was in love with the 52-year-old former basketball player. Find time for her to admit that now, huh? After all these years. Continuing on with the article, the couple first met in 1999 and married in 2002. Throughout their 9-year marriage, they welcomed 4 children together. Following the news of Henderson's eye-catching statements, Shaq himself responded to his ex-wife's words by posting a short message to his IG grid. And he posted, "I understand. I wouldn't have been in love with me either." Okay. And he went on to wishing her all the best. He said, "It's all love, Shaq." Now, the situation stems from a recently released excerpt from Henderson's new book in which she states that she questions her love for her ex. Quote, "Looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man, but I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with," end quote. This is what she wrote as per Essence in her book. She goes on to say, quote, "I was in love with the idea of building a life together. I truly did enjoy spending time with him. NBA road trips allowed me to be with my husband and experience the NBA life for a little while," end quote. Okay. Now, a source close to Shaq told ET that Shaq knew Shawnee was writing the book and he supported that, but He has not read it. Okay. Shaq believes that Shawnee is allowed to tell her story and understand that he wasn't the perfect husband, but he loved her and their family. Shaq has been very accountable for his actions as it pertains to infidelity within their marriage, right? Shawnee did speak about that on Basketball Wives. There were rumors circulating during their marriage that, this one was a mistress. He was doing this here, there, everywhere. And as Shaq has gotten older, I think that he's matured and he realizes, he even said it. He said, he let a good thing go. Now, I would like to know how he really feels. And I'm not saying that he should be angry or anything like that, but after, being very transparent and saying that, he wished he could have done things differently and Shawnee was the love of his life and he really loved her and he apologized to her. How does he really feel, knowing that she's basically saying that she doesn't think that she was really in love with him, but she was in love with the idea of marriage? And here's the thing. I don't know if you're new here, then you may not be familiar with my feelings about Shawnee, but I'm going to try my best to not let that interfere with my opinion. And in a nutshell, what I really wish she would have said, and maybe she said this in the book. I didn't read the book and I'm not going to read the book. I'm just being honest. What she should have said was, I married him for his money. Why do we have to dance around what it is? If this is how you really feel, I can understand you being in love with the idea of being married, but let's not act like his money didn't incentivize your decision, First Lady Henderson. She went on to basically say in an interview that she did with Tamron Hall recently with with Pastor Keon Henderson by her side, that she has a connection with her current husband, something that she didn't really feel, like a different type of connection, basically. In a nutshell, saying that she's happy with her husband now and she's genuinely and truly in love with her current husband. That's all great, and God bless Shaq for being so gracious and all, but everybody says call a thing, right? You married that man for his money. You probably weren't even attracted to him, physically attracted to him. And it's probably the reason why you stayed after all the infidelity, right? Because there was an incentive. No one enters into any type of relationship. I've been saying this for years on my channel. Most people, no one enters into a relationship, whether it is romantic, platonic, or other, without there being some sort of incentive or something that satisfies something in that person. So the incentive was, he's rich, like he's wealthy, because even after you guys divorced, probably long after you guys separated, you probably were still legally married, but after you were divorced, you were still benefiting from the fruits of his labor. Let's call a thing. Ain't that what the kids say these days? Anyway, Shaq is very, very gracious. And I like his response. And there were photos circulating on social media of Shaq, who is what? I think Shaq is like 50. He's in his late 50s. So there was a images circulating of Shaq on vacation with some 23-year-old young thing. Listen, who knows? Maybe he's going through a midlife crisis. But yeah, she's in her 20s. I guess that's who he's dating now, and I'm assuming that he's happy. But I do like the fact that Shaq has always been accountable and he's always been forthcoming in these recent years about how he know what mistakes that he made, and he loves his family, and he says that he still. I remember when he said he still considers Shawnee his wife. Remember? I don't know. In the eye, you let the church folk tell it. In the eyes of the church, Shawnee got two husbands. That's what the church people say. Anyway, you share your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think. All right. Without further ado, teacher sparks controversy after sharing video of a female students, taking down his braids. Okay. Earlier this week, an educator who goes by the TikTok handle, whatever that is, shared a video of some of his female students helping him unbraid his hair. In the clip, which has over 2 million views and almost 500,000 likes, the teacher says, let's go ahead and stir the pot a little. Last Friday, let's play the video. Let's play the video. I can't start this over. Let me see. Oh Lord Jesus. Hold on, y'all. Let me put the volume up so you can hear. So you can hear them. Make sure y'all like the video. Drop your comments.
Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out and they all agreed. Number two, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I wrote all of them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that music that's playing in the background, I don't know if that's going to strike my channel. Most of you probably have already seen this. So he's basically saying he had a hair appointment. He recruited some of his best friends, quote unquote, to assist him with taking down his hair. Okay. Um, After explaining that he had his students help because he needed to have his braids out before his hair appointment after school, and the task didn't pull away from their schoolwork, he continues. If it was a female teacher, critics wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. Right. He also notes that he has a great relationship with his students and most of their parents follow him on social media. However, despite his commentary on the 4-minute and 24-second video, the public still seems to be torn over the hair moment. One person wrote in the comments section, I see nothing wrong. Some of them may not have a father figure. That has nothing to do with anything. Or a big brother at home. So keep it up. Be there for him. Another person, a safe space is important. It takes a village. However, with all content shared online, the teacher couldn't stop the video from landing on the side of the internet filled with people who disagreed with what occurred. So someone else said, I don't care how much I love a teacher. Why would I want to be rewarded by taking his hair down? I wouldn't even want to put my hands in his hair. I don't know. This is weird. Someone else said, stop recording things and posting them on social media. This is the reason why y'all get caught up doing things that aren't even negative because people on social media are going to take things and blow them out of perspective, especially as a teacher. Someone else said, if I had a daughter with a good heart like myself, good spirit, sound mind, no, I wouldn't mind if she took his hair down. Here's the thing. Oh, someone says, social worker here. You are following all the appropriate boundaries. You are in the open, not alone with one student, and the students are willing participants. The energy is great. It is it is intimate, but in a familial way, which is normal for the culture. Here's the thing. There's tons and tons and tons of comments on social media. I'm gonna give my opinion. One of the things that I noticed is that a lot of people saying, "Oh, y'all automatically go to things that are sexual." That's why a lot of people were saying that it was weird because they were saying like, "Oh no, this is inappropriate, yada yada." And then there were people saying that y'all love to sexualize black girls. That's not my angle when I saw this. My angle when I saw this my mind didn't default to anything sexually inappropriate or sexual whatsoever. The very first thing that I thought when I saw this was wrong place, wrong time, unprofessional. That's what I thought. You are at your place of employment. And it's so funny because I was just having this thought earlier today. No matter how lax your work environment may be, how lenient or how, even accommodating, I strongly believe that we should always remain professional. Always. You are in a position where you are somewhat of an authoritative figure, a mentor. And although this looks innocent, I get it. It looks innocent. And I'm just going to assume, for the sake of my argument, that this is innocent. There's no inappropriateness whatsoever. That my mind didn't default to that. But again, it's unprofessional. And then when you post things on the internet, unfortunately, you open yourself up to criticism. And that criticism can be harsh sometimes. Would I do this? No. And even if, for me, I'm speaking for myself, even if he was a woman, I would find it just as inappropriate. Inappropriate in the sense where it is unprofessional. You're at work. Conduct yourself in a professional manner. You're the adult. You're the authoritative figure. So this is not necessarily innocent in a sense where, oh, it's no big deal. It is a big deal. Not for sexual reasons or sexualizing anyone. This is my opinion that I'm giving. It is because you're at work. You're at work. This is your job. You can be as comfortable with these students as possible, but I still believe you, as the adult, you should be teaching these children there's a time and a place. That's all a part of educating and rearing, all a part of it takes a village to raise a child. I'm all for that. But there's a time and a place. I don't care if he was a white man. I don't care if he was a white woman. I don't care that he's a black man, and I wouldn't care if he was a black woman. I would have the same, well, actually, see, if he was non-black, my opinion might be a little bit different. I'm gonna be honest with you, but we're sticking to the argument. If he's a black man, if he was a black woman, I would have the same opinion. Just because you're comfortable somewhere, and doesn't matter, listen to me, black people. I don't know how old some of you are. Listen to me, young professionals, especially if you're black, woman or man. It doesn't matter how lenient the environment is. It doesn't matter what you think your superiors will allow you to get away with. Always remain professional. Always, always, always. Please, always. So again, my mind didn't default to anything sexual. It just defaulted to, bro, you are going to get your hair done after school. Have the salon take your hair out. The classroom, your place of employment, unless you are a hairstylist, is not the place for you to be getting your braids taken out. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. This is not a barbershop. This is not a hair salon. It ain't even a hair store. You were going to get your hair done, sir. Have the people at the salon take your braids out. Not these school children. They're at school. If they think that this is normal at school, which is kind of like their quote unquote job, until they start working, what else are they going to think is acceptable in certain environments? Come on, we as adults, we have to lead by example. I know I sound preachy, but it's unprofessional, and to me, it's unacceptable. If I was the principal, I wouldn't want to walk in class seeing students taking the braids out of a teacher. No. Unless it's cosmetology class. That's the only acceptable scenario. You go into the salon, sir, and you're a black man. You know what? I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. I think it's unprofessional. You guys drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. There's a time and a place for everything. And what I've come to realize in these later years in my life, I realize that there are people who will hate you for correcting them. People don't, some people, certain types of people don't like correction whatsoever. You're either hating, you either, because somebody's going to say, oh, you hating, it's not that serious. They was just taking down his hair. Yes, it is that serious. Professionalism at your place of employment, your business, wherever you work, wherever it is that you generate income to take care of yourself, professionalism should always be in place. That's my story and that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. All right, y'all. I want to thank you if you made it this far in the video for joining me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you sat here and you listened to me go on and on and on about these people that are all over the internet. What I want you to do is, if you haven't paid your admission fee, please do so by hitting the like button. I also want you to drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. And if you know somebody who would be interested in any of these topics, share this video with your friends and them. All right? All right, y'all. I'm signing off. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. And until next time, I will talk to you later.